Well, thank you so much. It's an absolute pleasure for us to be able to present our solution to this group of experts and talk a little bit about Jacobs and what we've done in the past 9 months. So just to give a background idea of like what Jacobs is a $14 billion global infrastructure, technology, and government services solutions provider with over 56,000 employees worldwide. The purpose of our company is to create a more connected and sustainable world, challenging today, reinventing tomorrow. And this is how we expose ourselves to the world. We are in a unique industry where every solution and every innovation that we deliver for our clients really has the opportunity to advance the UN SDGs and the 2030 goals. In our recent sustainability strategy, which we call PlanBeyond 2.0, our company pledges to align our strategy with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals to clearly demonstrate how we are contributing to the delivery of the sustainable outcomes. As I mentioned, because of the industry that we're in a unique position, but we are not the only company. And in order to achieve this, we need to really be inputting the sustainable thinking in our people's minds. So how can we differentiate and how can we be the company like no other? They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So what if instead of just saying this, we were bringing every stakeholder on the journey with us, giving them an opportunity to explore how at Jacobs we are creating a more connected and sustainable world through our projects that we deliver for their communities, but also across the globe by mapping that based on the SDGs that they are advancing. And why would this be valuable? It touches all the three stakeholders that we have: our people, our clients, our investors. Starting with our people, attracting, engaging, and retaining top talent is the key to advance our business and bring our company to fruition. And we know that the new generation is more interested in doing good for the world and companies doing good for the world rather than financially status. And also through this solution, we will be able to inspire our own employees and globally connect them with their colleagues that are bringing different solutions across the globe. So we will be bringing in sustainable thinking into their minds. Moving into our clients, with the stimulus funding and Build Back Better efforts across the globe, our clients are now within their sustainability journey, wherever they are, looking for new solutions that can address the challenges that they are facing. And through this tool, we can help them reimagine these sustainable solutions with the examples that we provided across the globe. And coming back to our investors, through this solution, we will be able to clearly demonstrate the growth supporting sustainable development, in turn, their lower risk in investment. But also we will be able to share the pride of positive global impact that they can make through investing in our company. So bringing back to our sustainability strategy, we pledge that 100% of the Jacobs solutions and innovations will advance the progress through UN SDGs by 2025. Through this tool, we are not only pledging to this, but we will be measuring and transparently showing it. In our strategy, although all our solutions advance all 17 UN SDGs, we are focusing on the 6 of them that is shown here. So what the solution would look like is, as a user, when you log into jacobs.com, you would have the option on exploring some of the different projects that we have across the globe. You can focus on one region, you can focus on one SDG. And when you do that, you will be able to read about what that project was doing, what innovation our team brought in, and what is the SDG impact. And for some different projects, we might have more than several SDGs that each project is impacting. And also you will be able to meet with the subject matter experts that provided these solutions. And in turn, the projects that I'm showing right now are like real projects, but when we have all the projects that is mapped around, we can drive several metrics about, for example, what is the total percentage of revenue advancing different SDGs, whether it's reducing inequalities, clean water, or climate action. But of course, as with all the solutions, it comes with challenges and risks.
Yes, so like Minzer said, there are challenges and risks inherent with every project, and this one's no different. So our primary challenge is to integrate the sustainable thinking across all of our sales and delivery teams, because they are truly going to be the ones inputting this data. And speaking of data, we have to gather that data, we have to compile that data, and we have to automate that entire process, and so that's certainly a big challenge. Associated with that is also the around the data is getting our clients permission to use that data. This isn't just Jacob's story, it's also our client's story, and so we need to work with them to get their permission. We also don't just want to be putting information out there for the sake of information. So we plan to work with NGOs and external third-party validation companies and organizations to make sure that what we're saying is true and accurate to the best of our ability. And finally, as represented in the latest ENR rankings, Jacobs is a thought leader in the sustainability space. And so we can't do nothing. We have to continue to push the ball forward, drive that needle forward, and make sure that we continue to champion thought leadership in this space and champion our own story. So talking about moving forward, what does this opportunity look like? Our goal with this program is within the next 6 months to hopefully be able to have a pilot study that integrates our project delivery and our data collection efforts, ultimately culminating in an interactive alpha product release at Investor Day. Moving into phase 2, we're going to continue to build out that framework and focus on the Jacobs.com interaction and the new refresh that's happening right now with some AI capability that a separate team is working on, but engage with them to develop that. Also create automated SDG impact reports for our quarterly earnings calls that our C-suite can use. And then moving into phase 3 beyond that is really bring this back to the heart of our people and tie the SDG impacts that we're seeing with our projects and take it back to their specific performance and map the impact they're having more than just the calculations they make. How are they actually advancing the UN SDGs? And finally, bring this to market, right? Work with our clients to work with our delivery teams to bring this to our clients as a marketable service offering. And so we've talked about a lot of things here today. We've talked about the value proposition and the solution and why we should do this. And really it brings it back to the value that this is going to create. So we know from a McKinsey study that when companies focus on ESG performance, they see an increase in employee productivity. And we know from our own ESG sales intelligence teams that we see an increased win rate when we have an ESG focus and ESG intelligence. When we couple this solution with our PlanBeyond strategy we've talked about, we're going to see an increase in our community value creation and in our brand value. And finally, when we take this all together with the bigger picture of who Jacobs is, we're going to drive a 100% increase in the shared blueprint for global peace and prosperity, which is the overarching goal of the UN SDGs. So thank you all so much for your time today, and we'll open it up for questions.
Great job, you guys, and perfect timing. You really hit it right on the dot. Okay, so let's go to our judges for some feedback. And Helen, if I could ask you to kick it off for us this time.
Sure, thanks so much. Great presentation. Yep, very efficiently delivered, which is good. A lot of my questions, I guess I had a few questions when I was watching. I think the first one for me is like, I'm wondering what's in it.
What's in it?
It could perhaps be fleshed out a little bit further. But the other ones I had were around measurement. So, and what you're able to control and what you aren't able to control. So, you know, you did address the rigor of the need to be rigorous and to have it validated. But, you know, if you're working with a bunch of clients around the world, are you the one setting the measures yourself for these projects? Or are you going to rely on measures that they have already been set? So there's this kind of element of control that I was curious about, because that could technically like erode the validity or the credibility of what you're trying to achieve. And measurement is like such a slippery slope and a black hole, and requires a lot of effort, a lot of resource. But I think that if you can get it right, that will be really critical to this approach that you've outlined. So if you could have any comments on those pieces.
Yeah, Helen, I can start, and maybe Patrick, you can add on to it. That's absolutely true. So when we are working on the projects, we are working with our clients, but like our solution teams, as Patrick was mentioning, as we are tying our solutions with the UN SDGs and how we can advance it, there's a significant increase that we are seeing in the delivery rate. So even the client is not necessarily thinking within the boundaries of how more we can advance these different SDGs or the ESG metrics as per se, then we can actually drive with the teams and providing them, this is how we can do it more, how we can advance in the climate action or reduce inequalities more if we are driving this. So it actually ties back to several things that we mentioned. It ties back to bringing in that sustainable thinking into the hearts and minds of our people. That starts with that, who are really client facing and client active. But for the pledging on the 2025 goal of 100% of the innovations and the solutions will advance the UN SDGs, that is where we want to go. And that is basically taking our clients on the journey and helping them see what is possible and what we can do. And this tool will be essential in that case, because if there are some parts of the world that are more advanced than the others, so we can easily now show the examples of what we have done in one part of the world and how for that similar problem can be applicable on the other. Does that answer your question?
Sure, I'll let my other judges ask their questions. So yeah, thank you.
Great. Thank you. Simon?
Yeah, really nice presentation, guys. I think for anyone who read the IPCC report, we really need solutions and hope and optimism, right? So I think having a platform where you can see some good things that are happening is fantastic. I love that. I'm assuming this is an external facing solution, right? In which case, my question is more, how do you make it more than just PR? Because I think there is a risk there. And for me, that's all in the materiality and the transparency. So for it to be showcasing genuine projects that have impact, not just nice stories, I think that would be really important. And also, could you share the challenges as well, not just the successes? Because I think often you learn most from when you've maybe had a setback or a mistake. So I would encourage you guys to share that as well. And then I guess the real value in this would be if it could become a sharing platform where it's almost like an open source, pre-competitive space where you can drive even further impact. And I guess that's what you're onto. So yeah, it's more just to validate, this is not just another reporting thing, right? This is actually about scaling impact.
And Simon, it is both internal and external. So it is internal for our teams, for the sales teams to really think about it, because when you have 56,000 people across the globe, that global connectivity and understanding, connecting to subject matter experts, that is providing maybe a solution that is like reimagining the challenge. Another project team is working with a client. So we are working on that, the internal value that can come to our teams, but of course, as you mentioned, as it's also externally. Patrick, do you want to add anything?
Yeah, just tag on to what you said, Minzer, that it's for internal connectivity and then allowing us to drive the kind of highlights and best practices and how Jacobs is truly making a difference around the world on that external platform. But kind of the open source concept you said right now is what we're envisioning internally, but that's a great idea for some sort of an external market space to leverage this for future growth and future development with other companies.
I think that's where the impact is. Yeah.
Simon, and if I can add very quickly one more thing. So we are in the refresh of our website, and there it might come with the AI capability. So when the goal is to really have all the projects on there, so that when you sign in from wherever location you are, it will start with, for your community, this is what we could do. But like, this is also like the global impact that we can have. So that is the goal of this project, as Patrick mentioned in the phase 3.
So let's go to Mary for the last bit of feedback.
Sure, I think I had a question on the challenges, but that has been addressed previously. I think the other one was a positive note. I think your value proposition and the core competencies came out very well. So that's yeah, I got that very clearly. So that's commendable on your side. No more comments from me. Great work, great job.
Okay, great job, you guys. Thank you so much. And let me just take a moment to thank all of the teams and all of the judges, both the ones that were in this session. This has been a great session. I mean, it's really enlightening, and the comments in the chat just go to show how great a job the groups did putting this together, and also the judges in terms of giving their feedback. And since this is the last session of the showcases, that is, I also want to thank all of the presenters and all of the judges who, all 32 teams and I guess 12 judges who participated today and who shared their projects, and on the judges' end who shared their really insightful insights. And I also want to thank the audience who gave everybody their attention and who offered really great comments. So I'll ask people who are watching to just stick around for the next session, which is going to be the final breakout session. And the title is Why You Should Join the Next Round of Young SDG Innovators Accelerator Program. And that's going to provide more practical information about the YSIP program, which is the program that all of these presenters have been a part of, and the benefits that companies receive from participating. So thanks again, everybody. And I hope this has been a great experience for everybody.